Hello and welcome to Friday's Granada Reports. We are live across the northwest.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
I work for myself. My company is Samwall Digital.
She sounded like a plausible businesswoman. In fact, she was a stalker who terrorised her victims. Tonight, Samantha Wall starts a jail sentence. The targets of her abuse still reeling from their ordeal.
A desperate race against time for the life of a desperately ill little girl. Is a liver transplant abroad the only way to save Phoebe?
We have liftoff on an amazing exhibition about the early days of space flights.
Would you like some tickets?
Yeah! When goal-scoring legend Ellen White arrived bearing gifts for the Lionesses' big match against Brazil.
And I'll have all your weekend weather details later on in the programme, but for the time being, here's your reminder that the clocks go back this weekend.
So first tonight, a plea from the victims of a prolific online stalker. If she's targeted you, do not suffer in silence.
Yeah, tonight Samantha Wall is starting a jail sentence of more than 2 years for a relentless campaign of harassment against two business people from the northwest who she'd only met for a matter of minutes.
Well, outside court, those two victims, Naomi Timperley and Bradley Burton, claimed Wall abused others and urged more of her victims to come forward.
They also claimed social media companies refused to listen when they were urged to intervene. Tonight's top story from our correspondent Anne O'Connor.
One victim was a successful businesswoman in Greater Manchester who appeared in a software ad.
My name is Naomi Timperley. I am a partnerships and engagement consultant.
Welcome to the stage, Brad Burton.
Another was a well-known motivator from Salford.
The first person you've got to convince of your brilliance is you.
Both were bombarded and stalked online for years by a woman they met in real life for only moments.
I work for myself. My company is Samwall Digital.
Brad Burton told his story to ITV's Good Morning Britain earlier this year, after Sam Wall had admitted stalking offences last November. She'd been at one of his business events, and 2 years later, the relentless post started.
So some of the things that she said that I did, I poisoned the cat, I put a tracking device on her, I was giving her death threats daily, I've slashed the tyres, her windows were putting through, and she was painting this picture with photographs and so forth.
Naomi Timperley got similar treatment after she warned Wall to stop attacking fellow business people online.
It's been horrific. It's been mentally and physically draining on me, my friends and my family. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Got no idea why she does it, but I didn't want it to happen to anyone else, and the only way that I thought this would stop was going to the police.
Naomi and Brad say it was a battle to get the case to court. Stalking, they say, is not taken seriously enough. And the lying messages destroying their reputations remain on the social media sites they were posted on.
You went to the social media companies and asked for help. You were being relentlessly stalked. What did they do? Absolutely nothing. So if I was breastfeeding a child, they would probably remove that picture. But you can be abused by somebody and complain about it, and very defamatory stuff and false accusations. They never did anything.
Nothing at all? Did you ever get any response from them?
Nothing.
Did they ever offer any?
Never got anything.
Doubly difficult for a consultant whose livelihood depends on those platforms.
They've been a massive part of my business life, and I actively encourage people to use them. But I think it's really, really sad that as a victim of a crime, I haven't been protected by them.
Anne O'Connor reporting there, and Tim Scott was in court in Manchester to see Samantha Wall sentenced. So Tim, as we heard in Anne's report, the two victims repeatedly begged the social media companies to act, but to no avail.
Yes, Gamal, and as you've heard in Anne's report, this case is a sobering reminder of the power of social media and its ability to devastate lives when in the wrong hands. The hands in this instance belonged to Samantha Wall. The survivors of her abuse, Bradley Burton and Naomi Timperley, both gave victim impact statements in court today. Mr Burton said he'd only met Wall in passing at a business event, but her campaign of online lies that followed was a systematic attempt to ruin his reputation. Ms Timperley told the court that her name was dragged through the dirt of digital spaces, spaces that once held community but instead became, she said, cages of cruelty. As those statements were read out, Wall sat smirking and rolling her eyes. I caught up with Mr Burton and Ms Timperley after Wall was sentenced.
I think that people, what they end up doing is putting these daft comments online, believing it's just a comment online, but there's someone behind that. And when you have thousands of posts, not one, not two, not 10, but thousands of posts, day in, day out. And the worst thing about it, it was like a modern day witch hunt. She was weaponising and she was galvanising people to it.
So one thing I would like to say, and we've had a number of people reach out to us, but if you are going through this yourself, make sure you're taking screenshots. The police will take it seriously, but it is also something that they are learning about as well. It's a very new crime.
Sentencing Wall to 28 months in prison, Judge Neil Usher told her she was responsible for an unrelenting barrage of abuse designed to maximise fear and distress. He said this was a deliberate and calculated campaign of online stalking of the most egregious kind, and he told her the scale of that online campaign was breathtaking. Wall must now hand over all of her digital devices and is subject to a restraining order. And just a reminder of what Naomi Timperley did say earlier, if you are a victim of this kind of online abuse, please come forward and report it to the police as soon as possible. Back to the studio.
OK, Tim in Manchester, thank you.
Well, next, she has to have this transplant because we can't lose her. The desperate words from the parents of an 8-year-old cancer patient from Altrincham, Greater Manchester.
Yes, Phoebe Clark has already had 80% of her liver removed after being diagnosed with a rare and aggressive cancer back in February. But it's now returned in the remaining part of her liver.
Well, she's just completed her final round of chemotherapy, but doctors in the UK say a transplant isn't suitable because of the risk of the cancer coming back.
Her family are now seeking second opinions from abroad and have already raised more than £100,000 for treatment costs. Emma Sweeney has this report.
Phoebe Clark loves nothing more than indulging in a bit of friendly rivalry with her twin brother Eric. But away from the fun and games, the 8-year-old has more than most to deal with.
I need someone to donate their liver for me. But it can't be any random person.
Who does it have to be?
A family member.
Phoebe's parents say a liver transplant is her only chance of long-term survival. Despite being a ball of energy, she's just undergone intensive chemotherapy after being diagnosed with a rare and aggressive liver cancer in February. It can only be fully treated by surgically removing the areas affected. Phoebe's already had 80% of her liver removed, and every part of her remaining organ is cancerous.
Our oncology team have said that if we don't get this liver transplant, then she will die. So it is, as far as we're concerned, she has to have this transplant because we can't lose her.
Phoebe's loved ones are ready and willing to undergo testing to see if they could be suitable donors, but none of the 3 NHS centres who could potentially carry out the operation believe it is appropriate, with clinicians warning that the risk of cancer returning is simply too high. The youngster's parents disagree.
As a parent, no matter how slim the chance, you have to take that chance, don't you, and hope that this time will be the time where it works. And there have been cases outside of the UK where that has been the cure.
Lindsay and Matthew have now turned to doctors in Paris for a second opinion. If they come back with the same response, they plan to look even further afield.
I can't think that somebody else is going to say no. Paris can't say no, Netherlands can't say no, Boston, all of them, they can't say no. Someone's got to take that. She's just everything that is good in the world in this little ball of energy.
The couple have launched a fundraising campaign to help cover the potential costs of treatment abroad. For Phoebe's family, this is a race against time. They say they are not prepared to give up hope. Emma Sweeney, ITV News, Manchester.
It's just such a desperately sad situation, and thanks so much to Phoebe and her family for sharing their story with us. And there's more information about that fundraiser on our website. Just head to itv.com/Granada.
We've had this response from one of the hospitals involved in her care. Dr Magnus Harrison, the Chief Medical Officer at a Leeds Teaching Hospitals NHS Trust, told us he was deeply sorry for the awful situation Phoebe's family was in, and he added the decision not to offer Phoebe a liver transplant was incredibly difficult and was made following an extensive clinical review in consultation with the other specialist centres in Birmingham and London. Unfortunately, all organisations agreed that a liver transplant would not be an appropriate treatment for Phoebe.
And this decision was supported by NHS Blood and Transplant. They said, at the family's request, we are introducing them to a liver surgery centre outside of the UK so they can obtain a further opinion.
Well, in other news today, and detectives are appealing for more witnesses of the Manchester synagogue attack to come forward. 2 men were killed and 3 people were injured after the Heaton Park synagogue in Crumpsall came under attack. Police have spoken to more than 50 people, but are encouraging others, including those who tended to be injured, to contact them.
The minimum wage is going up on the Isle of Man. The Manx government's put the rate up from £12.25 to £13.46, effective from the 1st of April next year.
A new way of calming traffic in Birkenhead on the Wirral is causing a bit of a stir, with some describing it as looking more like cheesy Whatsits. Giant orange and yellow squiggles along Grange Road West are part of the council's plans for regeneration, with the streets being converted to a one-way system. Despite some negative comments on social media, the council say it will provide better access to shops and businesses.
It's very colourful.
Very colourful.
Now, if you're stuck for something literally out of this world to do this weekend, or maybe over half term, then listen up, because Jodrell Bank in Cheshire is hosting an exhibition of photos from the early NASA space missions.
Yeah, now these photos are truly amazing and in some cases have never been seen before. And what's more, they are the work of Andy Saunders, the best-selling author and space expert from Colchester near Warrington, who rescued them from a vault in America and restored them for his new book.
Well, it all coincides with the 80th anniversary of Jodrell Bank. Our correspondent Mel Boren went along to find out more.
They're the images that tell a largely forgotten story, a story of the very dawn of human space exploration. Photographs taken by those early astronauts themselves that capture NASA's Mercury and Gemini missions that ultimately made the moon landings possible.
What went on during those missions is probably even more impressive than perhaps the moon landings. Could we keep people in space alive long enough for a trip to the moon and back? Can we exist outside a spacecraft? Can you eat in space?
Under the gaze of Jodrell Bank's Lovell telescope, this new exhibition brings to life these pivotal missions. The painstaking work of best-selling author Andy Saunders, regarded as one of the world's foremost experts at digitally restoring NASA images.
The images these early astronauts captured are not only some of the most historically valuable, they're also breathtakingly beautiful. And yet until now, many of these images have never been seen before.
That's always been a frustration for me. To me, these are some of the most important photographs ever taken. When we humans first left Earth, we rarely see them, or if we do, they're not of great quality. And that's something I wanted to change, is to shed a new light on these important missions.
From his home in Colchester, using state-of-the-art enhancement techniques, he's taken the original images and revealed details that have, until now, remained hidden.
It almost feels like archaeology, you know, like brushing the dust off an ancient artefact and revealing something that we've never seen before, even back in the day. This film was locked away in this frozen vault in Houston for half a century, and now have access and get back to the original film, these really high-resolution scans, just applying some time and some digital processing to reveal what was always inherent in that film, which we can now do.
So this very much shows the process of what you've done here to bring these photos to life?
Yeah, so this is the original film, but there's not a great amount of detail. Then once I've been able to process that, I've been able to reveal here Buzz Aldrin. In fact, this is the first selfie ever taken in space.
So this one was the front cover.
Yeah, so this is Ed White on his Gemini 4 mission. So Ed White was the first American to perform a spacewalk. They just got back into the capsule. And this, the original frame, was almost completely black. But using digital processing techniques on the original film means we can now pull out this detail and reveal Ed White kind of out of the shadows. And it's just a deeply personal shot. It's almost like we're right there in the capsule. He's someone who's just achieved something quite extraordinary.
But it's not just about the beautiful imagery. This exhibition and the book tell the incredible story of bravery and ingenuity shown by these very first astronauts.
So the human drama that unfolded throughout these missions was just incredible. So we can now climb on board these tiny spacecraft and see these pioneers as never before. We can see their anticipation just before launch. We can see exhaustion, the focus, the hands on the controls, Earth reflected in the visors, the awe and wonder as they look out the window at these incredible things that no one had seen before.
This free exhibition runs until January, an opportunity to see spaceflight in its most human, unfiltered form. Mel Barham, ITV News, Jodrell Bank.
Wow, those pictures are absolutely remarkable, aren't they?
It's just, yeah, blows your mind, doesn't it?
Amazing. We've actually got a copy of Andy's book. It's really heavy, but it's absolutely worth the read, because every single page in it is an absolute delight, an absolute treat. So, yeah, get your hands on one of these. On to sport now, and it seems Marcus Rashford has no desire to return to Man United. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think this will come as a shock to Manchester United fans, but Marcus Rashford says he doesn't want to come back to Old Trafford when his loan spell expires next summer. He says he wants to stay at Barcelona and that after 23 years with United, sometimes you just need a change. What United don't want to change is their current form. Against Brighton tomorrow, Ruben Amorim can make it 3 straight league wins for the first time since he took charge.
I just want to maintain some calm, some direction in what we are doing. If you are a manager in this kind of club, you don't win a lot of games, people are going to doubt you, and they have reasons for that. But my point of view is that we need to be clear on our path and not changing so much because we win one game. That's all.
Well, with Manchester City away to Aston Villa this weekend, the Etihad Stadium is hosting the Lionesses as they take on Brazil in a friendly.
Would you like some tickets? Yeah!
And these lucky kids from South Failsworth Primary School are going to the game. Former City and England striker Ellen White surprised pupils at the City and the Community football session with free tickets and a chance to see England's Euros trophy.
It's so lovely to walk in and see their surprised faces, happy faces, and yeah, it's always a privilege. Firstly to be holding the trophy, but also to come and see young girls who love football as well, and talking about the current Lionesses and how much fun and how inspired they are. So it's amazing, and to see them playing football and having fun is the dream, really, isn't it?
It was like really exciting because I've never experienced something like that before. I was like shocked. I didn't think it was actually her. Yeah! As soon as I saw Ellen White with the trophy, it's like I've never seen something like that. I've never seen the trophy in my life, so it's really exciting and really good.
Is this the best day at school ever?
Yeah.
And if you're not lucky enough to get a ticket, you can see England take on Brazil on ITV1 tomorrow. Now to a classic underdog story in the Women's FA Cup this weekend. Cheadle Town Stingers, who play in the Women's National League North, that's the 4th tier of women's football, take on Middlesbrough in front of the TV cameras. Win or lose, they're already making history. This is the first time a first-round match has ever been broadcast live.
Oh, it's massive for Cheadle, you know what, like, especially even just for women's football, it's great. The girls are buzzing, we're just so excited, really. It's just such a big occasion, but we're going to smash it, we'll be fine.
You don't believe it at first, you think it's like a bit of a dream moment for us. So yeah, once I found out, I was so excited, over the moon, very blessed to be in this position, and yeah, all the girls were just giddy, really, really giddy.
It was a bit surreal, actually. I was sat in the office not too far away from here, and we got the notification, and I didn't actually work for the rest of the day. It was just phone call after phone call, I'm quite fortunate that the owner of the business owns a football club, and he was just as excited. I think he was ringing all his mates as well.
Yeah, good luck to the Stingers. Now, here's an image from a long time ago, 22 years ago to be precise. Wigan captain Andy Farrell on the charge for his country. Incredibly, this was the last time a Rugby League Ashes Test match was played, but the wait is over. Tomorrow, England take on Australia at Wembley Stadium in the first of 3 Test matches. It's an England squad packed with North West stars, and Mike Hall has been with them.
It's an opportunity many of these players feared would never come their way. An England call-up for an Ashes Test series. The 22-year wait is over.
You only get so many opportunities in a career to do something special, and to win an Ashes Test series on home soil is probably the biggest opportunity you can ever get as a player. So, yeah, look, we're all chomping at the bit, really excited. We understand the huge prospect and the task at hand and how difficult, you know, it's going to be. We're playing against the number 1 team in the world, so we understand all that, but we're also really excited and we're really, you know, together and ready to put our best foot forward and give ourselves the best opportunity to do something really special.
Owen Trout is one of the new faces in this England squad, but after a standout season with Lee Leopards, he left his phone on silent when England's head coach tried to reach him.
I missed 2 of his calls. I was on the TV and then all of a sudden I heard my phone vibrating. Saw that it was him, so I jumped up. I told my missus, mute the TV quick. So I answered it, and he said, oh, I thought you'd left me. I thought you'd gone on holiday, and, not wanting to play. But so I was apologetic for that. So I was already on the back foot with his phone call. But no, it was. I couldn't really get my words out, to be fair. I was just saying thank you, really appreciate it, and it's always nice to get the pat on the back.
A few minutes later, Billy Boston charges through. While the Ashes dates back more than a century, this will be a first as England and not Great Britain take on the Aussies. The Kangaroos have won the last 13 Ashes series, dating back more than half a century. But this England team has sparked plenty of belief among supporters. Next week's second test at Everton's Hill Dickinson Stadium is sold out, and a record Ashes crowd on British soil is expected at Wembley tomorrow.
How important is it to get a win in that first test at Wembley?
Very important. Yeah, we need. I want them to see the best of us. You know, we're a talented team, and they're obviously the best team in the world. But I want them to see the best of Super League and what we can do as an England team. There's going to be tens of thousands of fans there. The national anthem we're playing. It's going to be pumped. I'd encourage everybody to get a ticket, get down, and make it a real fortress.
A rugby league season spanning 8 months has just 3 more games to go. England fans are hoping the best is still to come. Mike Hall, ITV News.
Yeah, come on England. 1970 the last time we beat the Aussies in the Ashes. It's got to be this year, hasn't it?
Oh, it'll be a great match. Thanks so much, Chris. Now to Granada, introducing our series showcasing the region's best music talent, and tonight it's the turn to meet the Manchester indie band M60.
They're named after the Manchester Ring Road, and if that's not unusual enough, they are also self-proclaimed Gary Neville superfans and have invited him to join them on stage, although they'd settle for Eric Cantona if he's not around.
We all would. Their latest single, Lemonade, is out today, and they've just announced their biggest gig yet at Manchester's O2 Ritz.
They chatted to Elaine Wilcox.
Has your mind been broken, or was mine just chosen? I can hear your serenade, and I still taste lemonade in her mouth.
On stage at Manchester's The Ritz, a stripped-back version of the band's new single, Lemonade, which reaches a crescendo live.
Ultimately, it's about loving someone that used to love you that won't love you back anymore. And every time she goes to bed, she sees him instead.
And you dry your tears with a lemonade?
Yeah, squeeze it into it and then sell it for 20 quid a bottle.
I hate it that I love you, I can taste it, oh it's so good. I don't wanna go to bed, cause this never ends.
But at one point, a lemonade stand was an idea. I think all of us then went, no.
Too many plastic bottles.
Well, exactly. We're plastic free. It's the best single we've done by far. The ending of it is so massive.
Say you miss me, but darling, I've been doing fine. When I love you becomes as
M60, what's the attraction with the M60?
You know, like, you grow up and you have idols on your wall. Mine was just the ring road.
We do get regular like tweets about like traffic, which is
M60,
great.
yeah, it's great, yeah.
Still I'm yours.
What's the obsession with Gary Neville?
Our best friend, Gary Neville. You mean the best English right-back ever? The aim would be to get him to either intro us, know about us, meet us, just even listen to a song, and I know that he's listened to it would be enough for me.
Would you like him to play as a bass player, guitarist? Would you like him to play?
He can play my bass, absolutely.
He can sing my songs if he wants. I don't care. As long as he's here in this room, absolutely. Yeah.
They work collectively on their new songs and can't wait for their biggest homecoming gig at the Ritz, but have beef with Louis.
And I quite have a bone to pick with Louis Tomlinson, actually, while we're here. He's just announced a single called Lemonade, and then he's just announced an EP. It's called something like, What Do We Do Here?
How did I get here?
How did I get here? There's a world where he likes our music, but I now hate his because he's copied our names.
This is the most aggressive I've ever seen him in my entire life.
No.
Big Man United fans. Bit of a rocky road. Are you fans of Ruben?
Let a man breathe. He's already losing his hair, and he was a handsome chap when he started the club.
What was it like opening up the main stage, Kendall Calling?
Mental, yeah, the dream come true.
We had an artist liaison, someone that's just like, can I get you absolutely anything?
What did you get?
Just a lot of cider.
Loads of cider.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We've been on 60.
Yeah, so Gary, if you're watching, M60 wants to hear from you. You can find out more about our Granada Introducing series, which has been going since 2018 on our website and on our ITVX newsroom.
Right, time for a look at the weather now. Here's Joe.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you. A very good evening to you. The weekend is here, and of the 2 days, Saturday looks brightest and driest. It's been a pretty unsettled end of the working week. Further showers and some rain to come overnight tonight before it clears through tomorrow. Sunday, increasingly cloudy and damp conditions, and it will feel cold this weekend. But next week, temperatures return to around average for the time of year. We're still very much under the influence of low pressure through tonight and certainly the first part of tomorrow, with rain moving through in the early hours. It'll clear through, and Saturday will be the brighter day of the weekend with some sunshine on offer. Back to this evening, and over the next few hours that rain begins to make its way in from the north, pushing southwards. A few heavy bursts on it before tomorrow morning. Winds will swing round to a northwesterly before dawn. Quite a cold end to the night, I would have thought, with a few breaks in the cloud, allowing temperatures to fall to around 4 or 5 degrees. On to tomorrow's details. The sun is up at 7:56, setting at 5:52 tomorrow evening. For most of us, tomorrow should be generally dry to start the day. A few showers for western fringes, chiefly Irish Sea coast, the Isle of Man, feeding through the Cheshire Gap as we head through the day. But for many of us, it's dry with lots of autumnal sunshine on offer. A cold northwesterly wind though, so 9 or 10 Celsius is pretty chilly. Wrap up warm if you're heading out and about. More cloud will feed in through tomorrow night, and Sunday increasingly damp conditions and breezy too, feeling pretty raw out there. As we head into the new week, an unsettled outlook awaits us with spells of showery rain as we head through the week, but also temperatures recovering somewhat, so by the middle part of the week, back to around average. Bye-bye.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Well, it's nearly time for us to say goodbye, but we couldn't go without saying a very happy birthday to Anne Neal, who turns 100 today.
Yeah, Anne grew up in Cape Michael in the northwest of the Isle of Man and worked as a librarian before moving to Onken. And she celebrated her special day at the Summerhill View care home in Douglas, where she now lives.
Many, many happy returns to you, Anne. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.